What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have another update video on the Revell Mercedes-Benz Actros MP4 semi truck for the big rig group build, and so we got the chassis about patched up finally. So let's go ahead and show you what we got done so far, and I think we can move on to the interior at this point. So you got the chassis kind of assembled. As you can see, it's sitting on our 6 wheels, which is perfect. We got the engine back in there, radiator, make sure it all fits, kind of do like a assembly, make sure everything fits, and it's looking pretty darn good so far. So let's go ahead and show you the parts that's not on the chassis right now, because they don't really stay by themselves, but they're on there. So we got a bunch of parts. In this kit, there's actually a lot of parts that need to be molded or glued together as one piece, like they're molded pieces. So there's a huge seam line on a bunch of these pieces. We got this part. I think this is the filter, if I'm not mistaken. So that looks fantastic. I love the detail on that. Nice back wash will bring that right out. So we got that. We got the exhaust. The exhaust is in 2 pieces. I like how Mercedes exhaust is really thin, and it doesn't look like exhaust, to be honest. So I like how Mercedes-Benz trucks. Mercedes-Benz. They're really fancy cars, and they're going all out with their trucks also. So we got these fenders, these Flare fenders, we want to call it, for the back wheels. It looks fantastic. A tail light goes right there. So these are in 3 pieces. 3 pieces. So you got this end, and you got the upper hull. So got that sanded out, and the road truck does have a seam line down there, so I might have to scrub out a seam line again. So, but not a big deal. So that looks pretty cool. We got both of them here, and they're even, which is fantastic. So those are looking pretty good. I'm not sure, those are originally black, so I'm not sure what I'm doing with that, but they look fantastic. We got this guy together. I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest. But this goes on the passenger side of the truck, on the chassis and stuff, and then but these same ones are not gonna matter, because you get the skid plate, or the, this is, doesn't go there, and then there's actually like a guard, this piece right here, that goes right there. So you're not gonna be seeing any of these seam lines, which is pretty darn cool. So I just did some filling on those with the sprue glue, and that's good enough. And then the seam lines are gonna get hidden with the other parts that goes on top and stuff. So all that looks fantastic. We got the Fender Flare for the passenger side. That's actually what this guy sits on somehow, and then yeah. So, but that looks pretty good. Be warned, my kit, I'm not sure, but some pieces, some, not a lot, but a few. Like this one had this one kind of broke in half, so I had to glue that piece together. But make sure you're very careful with these parts. They're very fragile, and they can easily break on you. So I didn't break it. It broken from the box. So make sure, if you're taking these over trees, make sure you're taking good care of them, because they will break on you. But other than that, the chassis, we got the tankers back there. You've seen the tanks back there. We got some mud flaps there. We got some more hoses. All these hoses were in 2 pieces, so they have a seam line down them, which we got them all sanded out and sanded and filled in. So they look fantastic. We got this guy. I'm not really sure what this is. Looks like a big old gas tank, like one of those handheld ones. But I really don't know what this is. But that was in 2 pieces. So this kit has a lot of parts that are in 2 pieces and 2 halves, I guess, for molding issues or purposes. So, but not a big deal. Just gotta do more sanding. But I'd rather do more sanding than deal with fit issues with those AMT kits. So let's move on to the chassis. The chassis is a rolling chassis. The wheels do turn, but you're not gonna be turned when they're done. You have no choice to glue these wheels on, because you don't really click to anything. You just slide on and stay on, kinda. So I'm gonna glue them, obviously, because I don't play with the models. So we're gonna have to take the wheels. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take this off. That goes over the transmission, which is pretty cool. So that's gonna get chrome. So the wheels fit on there perfect. There's no issue there. As you see, they just sub it off. There's nothing really holding them. So you have no choice to glue them on, which is fine by me. You know, they're gonna get glued anyway. So the fifth wheel is on there. Got the engine, the radiator. I'm gonna show you the radiator this time because last time it flew to the ground. So the radiator is a very wonderful piece. Riveted. All this is gonna get black, and this is gonna get like aluminum. I'll mask it off and paint that aluminum. Not a big deal. And this is, you know, looks fantastic. This one's a piece, two pieces also, but it's missing some lacking detail inside there, but you're not going to see that anyway, so that doesn't matter because the fan is actually going to go like that. So you're not going to see it anyway because the fan really fills it in. So don't worry about the detail in there because you're not going to see it, especially when the body's on. You're never going to see it. So don't worry about that. But the radiator is a very cool big piece. I mean, it went together pretty well. The fifth wheel assembly, I gotta do some more staining on the fifth wheel. I actually haven't touched this. This actually fell off the tree down the bag. But the fifth wheel, I do more staining on that, but that looks pretty cool. The fifth wheel mounting point, that just snugs it onto the chassis with those mounting points. And that's snug on there, fantastic. We got this, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is the suspension where the cab kind of sits on. So that's pretty cool. This is multiple pieces, so it's multiple pieces glued together. This is two halves, and you got the springs there, which are two halves also. And then you got this hose. I'm not really sure what that does, but that's there. And there's a clear lens that goes there. That's like an LED light for when you guys hook up a shower or something to light with the back at nighttime. So that's pretty cool. That's actually that's like aluminum color. That's like aluminum. The engine. We got the dry shaft in there, which just fell off. The dry shaft, I tell you right now, everything's molded in two pieces. The dry shaft was actually molded in two pieces. You can see the seam line. It's all sanded out and it's all smooth, but you can, this kit, I'm guessing is for molding purposes. You know, have to do that, just get every single detail. The engine has not been touched. The engine's the same as you saw my last update video, so we're not going to show you that. Chassis has not been changed that much, just the front suspension has been added on. That's it, and then the steering. Now this thing, it does have movable steering, but it's not going to have movable steering once you put on the steering linkages, you want to call it. So, because you have glued on, they don't click in like some Tamiya kits. You know how the steering just clicks in and it still has steering. This is not the case. You actually have to glue these on, so not a big deal. You do lose the steering, but not a big deal. I'm not gonna really care about the steering. I would have the extra detail and then having movable steering on the chassis. So, but as you see, the chassis is very detailed, and this is all good. One big bulk of one color. Like I mentioned, a Vespa color. It's not black. It's like a really dark gray. What Mitsubishi uses, or Mercedes-Benz. There we go. So yeah, it's like a really dark gray. So, but that's gonna get painted up. That's pretty much about it. I like how this kit actually comes with a wheel chuck, you want to call it, that actually has a handle that's molded in a separate piece, and that actually goes back here somewhere, and right there. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna paint that yellow, just have it stand out. So, but other than that, that's it for now. Yeah, the chassis is done. I want to do a separate video on the chassis alone. The chassis, you know, it's a lot of pieces. The chassis alone has over, I think I counted it, having, you know, miscellaneous, you know, auto parts are missing. I think the chassis alone has over 150 parts alone, maybe more, maybe almost 200 parts. I don't know. I think I counted over 440 some parts, something like that. So there's a lot of parts. So a lot of chassis alone is very detailed, but it looks fantastic, and I think it looks pretty darn good. So the chassis, it took me about a week, over, yeah, I gotta say over a week. So, but it looks fantastic, and make sure you take your time with it. Make sure it's even. I mean, this kit, it's a revell kit, and it's not gonna have any issues unlike some AMT kits. But other than that, that's it for this video. I'm gonna get the interior started. I have not started on the interior, so we're gonna have to get the interior started. So I'll do an update video on that shortly, and then body, might lose more work on the body, and then another update video, and then hopefully the thing will be ready for primer eventually. So, but other than that, guys, that's gonna be it for this video, and until my next video, I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.